Hi there, it's Carlo here from Sills Complete Auto Care Center. We're going to be putting out a number of videos, as I mentioned before, just to bring a little bit more education regarding customers' vehicles and bring a little bit of transparency regarding your service vehicles. Today, I want to take a moment and talk about air conditioning. We're in the season, so you go in the car, you push the button, and the air conditioning doesn't work. So what's the next step? You pick up the phone and you call the service facility and say, hey, my air conditioning's not working. What is it gonna cost to go through and do the test? We start off with the basics, determine if there's a leak in the system. That's the most common thing that people will experience. Why does my system leak? Theoretically, it shouldn't, but it does leak. Why? Lots of rubber components, lots of pieces to the puzzle in the air conditioning system. So all of those pieces are constantly moving over time, so you can develop leaks. They rub against stuff, so you may get breaks. There's also, welcome to Mother Nature, corrosion. So we may get leaks from a corrosion area. Those are all possible leak areas on a vehicle. So that's the first step that's required. Leak testing can be done a number of different ways. This is where experience and finding a shop with experience pays off. Some places don't have the proper equipment. The best way to go through and test it is a shop should have a leak testing device. It basically makes a noise as it senses and tastes samples the refrigerant where the leak is. Other places don't do that. They don't have the technology, so they'll use a dye. And what they'll do is they'll put this stuff in the system and fill it back up again, send you on your way and say, hey, if it leaks, we'll see if this thing leaves a residue behind where the leak is. The proper way to do it is with an electronic leak detector. It's the most efficient way of finding small leaks in the system. Why am I not a big fan of this stuff? Because you spent $300, filled the system, and 2 weeks later it leaked. And where it leaked is where the human eye can't see it. So you want to have a proper leak detection test. Inside the industry, why do people not do this and they do this? Speed. This takes time and experience. This you get paid fast and get it done. Sometimes the mechanic will say, I've tested it all and I can't pick up a leak. Very true. Sometimes leaks are so small and they only happen on the really hot days, and the leak occurs, and then as soon as it cools down, metal or components tighten up and seal up the leak. Then we have to revert to this. So when you're going through and testing, we want this, and we try to avoid this right off the bat. So now we know a little bit about how you should ask a repair shop about testing a vehicle. Now we want to talk about the leak fixing. Legally, you can't just fill a system if it has a leak in it. You got to go through and repair it. So what happens with the repair? The automotive repair shop will go through and make up an estimate and say, this is how much it costs to fix. You go, holy moly, I didn't expect it to be so much. What other options are there? Sometimes there are, but here's what's happening within the industry. We're getting into some of this stuff. So this little can you can buy off an automotive parts shelf. What is this stuff? You don't require an air conditioning certified government license to use this. You could put too much of this in the system. You could put too little of this in the system. You put too much of it, you blow something up. You put this stuff in the system, if you read the label on the back, this stuff has a flammable agent in it. Oh, should I be concerned about? Yes, because flammable agents mixed in these canisters can sometimes leak because you never fixed it, you just filled it. Sometimes they leak off differently, so you lose the different layers of chemistry, and what you got left is the real flammable stuff. I'm not gonna say that I've seen it happening. I have read about it, and I've been educated on it. If the flammable stuff is left over and you have a front-end collision, you do have a possibility of having a fire or an explosion. Read the fine print. This is a cheap way to go through and get your air conditioning system up and running. What else is happening in the industry is people are using sealers. You can buy them off the store shelf. There is no such thing as a proper sealer in air conditioning systems. So what happens? They use chemistry to try to go into the system. As soon as it starts to leak, it hardens up on the hole and seals the system. That's not a guarantee. We here at Sills do use a product. This is a product that I use. It is very expensive. I've had good success with it, but it still doesn't guarantee a permanent fix. It's only meant for certain leaks under certain conditions, and it's only to be sold in those cases, not to just make some money and fix the system. Doesn't work that way. The other thing we want to make sure of, if you have a brand new car, the refrigerant is different in those new cars than some of the old cars. And this is something that's changing. So you want to make sure the repair shop is experienced with the new refrigerant. 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, and further is part of it. If you have a hybrid vehicle, they better be experienced, because you put the wrong oils in those systems, you have a problem. This is not to make you freak out or panic. This is to make you educated that a person must know about air conditioning when they're working on it. There are lots of places out there that can fix it, but are they fixing it properly? Are they just going through and putting dye in it, sending you on your way for your 300 bucks? Or are they telling you the whole story, giving you options, and saying, this is what we can go through and do? We all want cold air, but remember, fixing your car for safety is far more important than having cold air in your vehicle. So I've seen plenty of people give up doing brakes because they want cold air. Remember, air conditioning is still a luxury item, even in today's time. So we want to be more educated about it. If you have any questions regarding air conditioning or the transparency, the stories that happen behind it, my name's Carlo from Sills Complete Auto Care Center. I'm here to help you out. We're going to see more of these videos with a little bit of behind the scenes within the business. Thanks.